Tommy Cvitanovich, owner-manager, Drago's Restaurant, and vice chair of the Louisiana Restaurant Association. Well, our restaurant, we're a second-generation restaurant. We have two restaurants here in the New Orleans area, one in Metairie and one at the Hilton downtown. We are famous for charbroiled oysters. We've been serving them for about 20 out of the 40 years our restaurant's been in existence. I just got really lucky one day. Most of the time you have these chefs that are incredibly talented. They go to school, they have these big hats, and they know the taste, palates, and front of your palate and back of the palate and all. Well, I consider myself just a plain old good cook. And I used to always, we had a blackened drumfish that we did in this, kind of like in the shell with the skin and scales. And one of the things that we used to tell our customers all the time in describing it, the skin and scales act as a second plate, and they hold all the natural juices and bastings. And there's no better natural juice than oyster water. And I just started thinking one day, oysters, oyster water, they're in a shell, we put them on an open fire, and maybe we do the same thing we do with the drumfish and do it with the oysters and do the charbroiled oysters, and today it's the same butter and garlic sauce that we used 20 years ago. The only thing different is we add a little bit of cheese on it, and we sell a bunch of them. Well, it's a lot more challenging today in trying to secure oysters. A lot less fishermen working. A lot of our areas are closed. Barataria Bay, which is kind of the motherlode for Louisiana seafood, is shut down, and so it's very challenging in getting oysters. The cost has gone up considerably. Cost on gallons went from the mid-30s to well over $60 a gallon. So we have those challenges, but there's still a little bit out there. We're still getting some. I've got enough people that got enough friends in the industry where we're piecemealing orders, and we have some really good oysters. Well, if there are no oysters, what am I going to do? I've got a wife and young kids, so I can't commit suicide. So we are actually going to, we've got a dish where we take Canadian mussels, and we cook them the same way, the same butter, the same garlic, the same cheese. We use the same French bread for dipping. It's served the same way on the plate. And I always say that charbroiled oysters is the best bite of food in town. Well, the Canadian mussels, charbroiled, might be the second best bite of food in town. You can't compare them to the oysters, but they are really, really good. It's a delicious item. Well, let's get one thing straight. First and foremost, there is no replacing a Louisiana oyster. You can't do it, Every once in a while you might get a little bit out of Mississippi that's very similar and very close in taste and texture. Same thing with Texas. During certain times of the year they have a pretty good product. But any products off the East Coast or the West Coast, you just can't compare it with a Louisiana oyster. That constant mixing of the salt and fresh water that happens in Barataria Bay, that magic, that doesn't happen anywhere else. So, there's no replacing it, so that's why we're just not interested in other products, other than our Gulf oyster. Well, it kills me when I hear these restaurants and delis and stores that are saying they're not going to serve Gulf seafood or Louisiana seafood. It just shows that they don't have a knowledge of what's going on with our seafood. Today, our seafood is without a doubt the most scrutinized seafood, or food period, there is. Our seafood today is inspected by the Board of Health, the Louisiana Wildlife and Fisheries, the Department of the DEQ, which is Department of Environmental Quality. On the federal side, we have the FDA checking our waters. We also have NOAA coming in here checking our waters. We have independent labs that are doing it for different organizations and news agencies. No other seafood in the United States is as scrutinized as Louisiana seafood is today. It would be really nice if they would check some of the imported shrimp and imported crawfish and scrutinize that the way they scrutinize Louisiana seafood today. So when people put that sign up that they're not serving Louisiana seafood, it just shows that they just don't know. We are, and we have, the most scrutinized seafood and industry that's ever happened before. And it's kind of sad because, for all these years that people have been eating Louisiana seafood in particular, Louisiana has supplied our country with seafood all different types of variety. And for now to slap the hand that has been feeding them for all of these years, it's just very, very disappointing.